Hello everyone, welcome to Sai Medha Koti. Myself Banu Prakash, Faculty of Electrical Engineering Department. In this video, I would like to discuss electrical machine questions of TS NPTCL exam. Let us solve the question number 1. The question is, the let is denote the EMF generated, IA denotes armature current, T denote line current, and V denote the terminal voltage of the DC generator. Then power generated and power output of the generators. So this question belongs to the concept of DC generators. So options are given in terms of the generated voltage, armature current, and terminal voltage of the generators. So first one, we required the generated voltage of the generators. Okay, so this generated voltage and power output. So power here, let E is what? The generated voltage of generator, and this is the IA is a armature current of the generator, and VT is a V is what? Terminal voltage of the generator. So we required the power generated in the armature. So power generated in armature of the DC generator, so that is equal to the generated voltage multiplied by armature current IA. And one more terms is also given, I is a given that, so that is the line current of the generators. And next one, power output of the generators. How do we get power output of generators? This power output is equal to the terminal voltage V multiplied by the line current I. So which option is the suitable? Okay, among these, the first one, power generated, the E multiplied by armature current, and power output is a that is a terminal voltage multiplied by the line current. So option the C is correct for this question. Got it? Now let us solve another question. Question is a three-phase induction motor is fed by the three-phase inverter having fundamental and all odd harmonic voltages without third harmonic components. The slip at fifth harmonic components is option A exactly equal to 0.22, exactly equal to 1, the greater than the 1, and between 0.5 and 1. So this question belongs to the concept of induction machine, or especially in the induction motor. How do we solve this question? So we know that space harmonics, okay, in the three-phase induction motor. So this space harmonics, order of the space harmonics, okay, that is equal to the 6m, the plus or minus 1, where m is a some integer. Suppose m is equal to 1, for m is equal to 1, so then this is a, the 1 is a 6m plus 1, so plus sign is for, okay, this is for the plus is for the forward, okay, direction, and minus sign is for the reverse direction. So this is the plus or minus indicate the forward and the reverse direction. For m is equal to 1, so this is the order of the harmonics. So 1 is the 6m plus 1, so 6 1 plus 1, so that is the 7th order harmonics. So this one is the forward motoring, and next one the 6 1 minus 1, so that it is equal to the 5th order harmonics. Okay, one is a motoring mode of operation, and next one is the reverse motoring mode of operation. Now we require the slip of the motor, so that is the slip the corresponding to the slip of the motor, the corresponding the to the 5th order harmonics. Okay, this one the 5th order, so that is equal to ns. Okay, we have, so this part, okay, slip the ns ns minus of the speed of the fifth order harmonics here ns divided by 5, and it is a reverse direction. Fifth one is a negative, so that is a minus ns divided by ns values. Now simplify this, so that it is a ns the plus ns divided by 5 divided by ns. Now simplify this, so it is a ns is a, so it is a 6 by 5. 6 by 5 is a, the slip is a greater than the 1. This one is the slip of the motor is a greater than the 1, so that which option is a suitable? Exactly equal to the 0.2, exactly equal to the 1, or greater than the 1, between the 0.1 and the 0.5 and 1. So option the C is a correct for this question. Let us solve the question number 3rd. Question is, the direct online starter for a large 3-phase induction motor has been replaced with the star delta starter. Choose the wrong option from the following. So this is a very important one. So we need to find out the wrong statement. The one of the option is given, starting torque is reduced by the 66% and starting voltage is reduced by 57.7% and starting current is reduced to 33.3%. The starting torque is reduced to 33.3%. So now we know that relation between the starting that is torque, the starting methods of the 3-phase induction motor. So we have the two methods are there. One is the direct online method, another one is the star delta starter. So current in case of the direct online starter, the is equal to, so this one is a current, or this is a current in case of the star delta starter, is equal to 1 by 3 times of the current in case of the DOL starter. The similarly, next one, torque relation, the torque in case of the star delta starter, the is equal to 1 by 3 times of the torque in case of the DOL starter. So now what it means, what is the reduction in the current? So reduction, this current, the reduction is a, how much percentage? So 1 by, so this is the 1 by 3%, and next one, the reduced by 1 by 3, and next the similarly, we have two questions are there. One is the starting torque is reduced by the 66.6%. So now it is equal to 1 by 3. So that is, suppose if you find out percentage reduction, so is equal to the 1 minus 0.33 divided by 1. So now this is equal to 0.66. So now this is the 66%. Now here starting torque is reduced by 66.7%. This is the correct statement. And similarly here starting current is reduced to 33%. This is also correct statement. And starting torque is reduced to the 33%. This is also correct statement. Which option is the wrong? So option B is the wrong statement for this question. So reduced by 66% is the right one. Reduced to 33% also right statement. So these three statements are correct one, and the second option is the wrong statement. So that answer for this question is option B is the correct. Now let us solve another question. The question is a 3-phase 440 50 Hz induction motor, full load slip is 10%. Then at full load speed, the frequency of stator current and rotor current are option A 45 Hz and 45 Hz respectively, and option B 50 Hz and 5 Hz respectively, and option C 45 Hz and 5 Hz respectively, and option D 50 Hz and 45 Hz respectively. So we need to find out the frequencies. So initially we are given that this given frequency, so supply frequency this is equal to the 50 Hz only. This is the 50 Hz. Now how do we get this supply frequency? Is also called the stator, the frequency of the motor. Now we need to find out the rotor frequency Fr. What is the relation between the stator frequency and rotor frequency? Fr is equal to the slip times of the stator frequency Fs or supply frequency. So how do we get the slip? Okay, slip is equal to ns minus n by ns multiplied by Fs. Now substitute here the ns we required 3 pairs. Okay, slip is given, so directly is the given here. So therefore from this relation also we can get directly. So we have no need to find out this part. So if S is equal to 0.1, the 10% is what? 0.1, the multiplied by 50. So now this is equal to 5 hertz. So that answer for this question. So stator frequency, supply frequency is the 50 hertz and rotor frequency is the 5 hertz. So which option is the suitable for this question? Option, the stator frequency is the 50 hertz and rotor frequency is the 5 hertz. So that option B is the correct one. Let us solve the another question. The question is, an AC induction motor is rated 20 kilowatts, 415 volts, the 3-phase 4-pole 50 hertz. It has a full load speed of the 1350 rpm. The motor load is now reduced to the half load. So determine the speed of the motor assuming the operating region of the torque speed characteristics between the off load and full load is linear. Option A 1200 rpm, option B 1500 rpm, and option C 1350 rpm, and option D 1425 rpm. So this question belongs to the concept of the torque slip characteristics of the 3-phase induction motor. So now for the let us draw the torque slip characteristics. From the torque slip characteristics you can analyze this question easily. Now we know this is the torque and the speed of the motor. Let us take torque on y-axis and the speed. So now this speed I can say that it is the ns, and here speed n is equal to the 0. When speed is equal to the 0, the slip of the motor is equal to the 1. Now here slip is equal to the 0. So now this per low this slip is a low and the slip is a high. Per low value of the slip. So what will happen? See, per low value of the slip, torque slip characteristics. Okay, per low value of the slip, the torque slip characteristics are linear. Okay, this is a linear. And the per high value of the slip, torque slip characteristics are non-linear. So this torque is a directly proportional to the 1 by S, and here this is the torque is directly proportional to the S. Now this the speed is the speed corresponding to the maximum torque. So this is known as the speed corresponding to maximum torque. So next one, this is the speed corresponding to the ns. And another point here, so at this point exactly, so this point you can say that speed very nearer to the synchronous speed. So this is a no load operating point, NL, or this is the speed corresponding to the no load, and this is a nearer to the this point. It is a speed the corresponding to the full load, FL. So now exactly in between these, this is known as the speed at off full load condition. Now what is the requirement? So full load speed is a less as compared to the no load speed, and full load speed is a less as compared to the no load speed and synchronous speed. Now it is given that 3-phase 50 hertz. Now what about the synchronous speed of the motor? This synchronous speed ns is equal to the 120 f by p. So now 120 the 50 hertz frequency, the 50 hertz, number of poles is equal to the 4, so that it is the 1500 rpm. So this is the synchronous speed. So here 1500 rpm is not at all correct. And next one, the 1200 rpm. So here full load speed is given, that it is this speed is the 1350 rpm. So definitely no load speed, off full load speed is more than the 1350 rpm. Now this is the 1350 also not correct, and next 1200 is less than the full load speed, this is also not correct. So now which option is suitable here? So no load speed of the motor, the speed corresponding the no load is greater than the speed correspond, the no load is greater than the full load. Now similarly speed corresponding to the off full load is also the greater than the speed corresponding to the pull load. So now that's why which option is the suitable here? Option D is the correct for this question. Let us solve another question. This question belongs to the concept of induction machine. The question is, the following curves represent the torque speed characteristics of the four motors A, B, C and D. Match the speed of the motor at maximum torque, the low speed, okay, speed less than the no load speed, the speed less than the synchronous speed and synchronous speed of the motors. So there are some options are given. Option match the following question. So now coming to the first one, the curve A. So this curve is a belongs to this part. So it is a, when the speed is a low, okay, now torque is a high. So now this is for the low speed of the torque speed characteristics of the motors, and curve B is there. So now this is the speed, okay, in this case the speed less than the no load speed. So no load speed is a very nearer to the synchronous speed. Now at synchronous speed the D is what? At the synchronous speed. Now this is the no load speed conditions. Okay, this is no load. The speed less than the no load speed. The no load speed means the speed of the induction motor which is very nearer to synchronous speed, and the C curve is a speed the less than the synchronous speed. Okay, these are the option. So here 1 is matching with the A, and the 2 is a matching with the B, and C is a matching, or 3 is a matching with the C, and the fourth one is a matching with the D. So which option is a suitable? Option B is a correct for this question. Let us solve another question. This question belongs to the concept of the transformers. The transformer, especially the losses of the transformers part. The question is the full load copper losses and iron losses of the single phase 90 kVA 115 volts upon 230 volts 50 hertz transformer are 1200 watts and 400 watts respectively. So if the frictional losses are the 132 watts, then the total losses when the transformer is operating at 80% of the full load. So given data, okay, the given that iron losses are given. So this iron losses the is equal to 400 watts, and next one copper losses also given, copper losses, so that is equal to 1200 full load copper losses. So these are full load copper losses of the transformer, and in addition to these the frictional losses are given. Okay, these are the frictional loss. So frictional loss, okay, here in case of the transformer there is no rotating parts, so that there is no frictional losses. So now it was given, okay, but it is only dummy data in this question. So now here 80% of the, okay, 80% of the full load. So now we need to find out the total losses of the transformer at 80% of the full load. So therefore total, okay, loss of transformer, so that is equal to the x square, okay, into the full load copper losses. Okay, this copper losses is the full load copper loss, the plus iron losses. Copper loss depends on the load current or load variation, whereas iron losses is independent of the load current or load variation. Now where x square is equal to 0.8 square, the full load copper losses is equal to 1200, the plus iron losses is equal to 400 watts. Now by simplification, so this will become the 768 watts plus 400. So now it is equal to 1168 watts. Now this 1168 is the nearer to the 1156 watts. So actually there is no 1168, but which one is the nearer answer? The 1156 is the right answer for this question. Now let us solve another question based on this concept of the transformer also. So this question also belongs to the concept of transformer. The question is 20 kVA single phase 50 Hz, the 2000 volt upon 1200 volts two winding transformer is connected as an auto transformer, so has to achieve the voltage ratio of the 1200 volts upon 200 volts. What will be the rating of auto transformer? So we need to find out the rating of the auto transformer. Now already given that voltage ratings are mentioned in this question, so we can answer easily this question. Suppose the voltage, the rating of auto transformer that is equal to the 2200 upon 200 volts. Okay, this is the 2200 upon the 200 volts. And the next one, let us find out the transformation ratio of K of auto transformer. So that is always the low voltage of the auto transformer, the divided by high voltage of auto transformers. So which one is a low voltage? The 200 volts low voltage of auto transformer. Now this is equal to 200, so 200 divided by 2000, the 200. Okay, so now this is the 1 by 11. So now this is the K of the auto transformer. Now we can find out the kVA rating of auto transformer is equal to, so this kVA rating of auto transformer, so that is equal to the 1 by 1 minus K times of the kVA rating of the 2 winding transformer. So now this K is equal to 1 by the 1 minus K, 1 minus the 1 by, okay, this one is a the 2000 upon to the 2000 1 by 11. So now this is equal to, so it is a multiplied by the kVA rating of 2 winding transformer. So now it is equal to 20 kVA. Now simplify this. Okay, now it is equal to 10. So now it is 11 by 10. So multiplied by 20 kVA. So now simplify this, it will become 22 kVA. So this is the one method to answer this question. Okay, now this is the kVA rating of auto transformer is equal to the 22 kVA. Option 3 is the correct. And we can answer this question by using another method also. Okay, now suppose the initially it is given, okay, 2000 upon the 200 volts. Okay, that is the 20 kVA. So 2000 upon 200 volts, 2 winding transformers. So now let us solve this question. See, rating of 2 winding transformer that is 20 kVA. Okay, 2000 upon 200 volts. Okay, 200 volts. And next one, rating of auto transformer is mentioned. Voltage rating of the auto transformer. So that is a 2200 upon the 200 volts. 2200 upon, okay, 200 volts. So now this is the rating of the 2 winding transformer. Now it means that here this is the 200 volts. Okay, so 200 volts, and these both are connected in the series additive polarity. So it is a 2000 volts. Now sum of these two will get the load is a connected here. So now this is the load. So it is a high voltage winding and this one is the low voltage winding. So supply is given to the low voltage side. Okay, it is the 2200 volts. Now this part, it is a load is a given here. So now load terminal voltage, the VT is equal to, so now this V2 is equal to the 200 volts. Okay, like this we can calculate. Now we are 2200. Okay, now let us find out. Suppose if you find I2 values. So now a kVA rating of auto transformer. Okay, kVA rating of auto transformer. So that is equal to, okay, 2000. So what is the current I2? How do we find out I2 value? So now I2 is the 20 kVA divided by 20, so kVA divided by what is the voltage here. So now this voltage is a 2000. So now 20 into 10 to the power of t, this one is a 2000. So now it is equal to 10 amps. Now therefore this the kVA rating is equal to the V2 multiplied by I2. So V2 is equal to 2200 multiplied by, so I2 is the 10 amps. Now it is equal to the 22 kVA. So this is a one method to answer another question. So and other way also we can find out by using the input current also. So we can use this ratios also. The kVA rating of auto transformer is equal to 1 by 1 minus k times of kVA rating of the two winding transformers. Let us solve another question. This question belongs to the concept of the transformers, especially the distribution transformer. The distribution transformer rated at the 800 kVA has the following schedule. The load is at 1200 kilowatts with a power factor of the 0.5 for the 12 hours per day. For the remaining 12 hours per day, the transformer is on no load. The full load copper losses are given as 16 kilowatts. Then the total energy loss due to copper losses per day is dash. Option C is of 48 kilowatt hour, 24 kilowatt hour, 48 kilowatt hour, 192 kilowatt hour, 96 kilowatt hours. So now first one we need to find out the fraction of the load. Okay, now here the copper losses, full load copper losses are given, so that is equal to 1600 watts. Now fraction of the load is equal to, so now this is a load kVA. How do we find out the load kVA? So this is equal to load power in the kilowatts, okay, in the kilowatts divided by power factors. Now what is the load power in the kilowatts? So that is equal to 200 divided by 0.5. So now it is equal to 400 the kVA. So this is the load kVA. Now fraction of the load, okay, this is the fraction of the load. So now x value is required. So that is equal to the fraction of the load, x is equal to the load kVA 400 kVA out of the 800 kVA. So this is the fraction of the 800, okay, kVA. So now this will become, that is a 1 by 2 k, 1 by 12. So this is a fraction of the load. Now copper losses, okay, at this load. So now therefore copper losses at half load conditions, okay, that is a copper loss at half full load condition. So now that is equal to 1 by 2 whole square the into full load copper losses, that is equal to the 16 kilowatts. Okay, 16 kilowatts is nothing but the 1 by 4. So now 1 by 4 means the 4 kilowatts. Okay, this is a 4 and 4 kilowatts. Now total energy loss, okay, due to the only 12 hours are there. These are power losses. Now energy is equal to, okay, energy, the loss is a required. Okay, energy loss means the 12 multiplied by, so that is the power multiplied by time. So now power losses is equal to the 4 the kilowatts, okay, multiplied by how much time? It is only 12 hours. So now it is equal to the 48 kilowatt hour. So answer for this question is the 48 kilowatt hour. So option the B is the correct for this question. Hello students, we are going to start the new batches for the EEE Gout jobs, especially for Genco Transco AE, the TSPSC AEE, and one more, that Polytechnic lecturers. So this is the batch for the exclusively for EEE, all EEE Gout jobs. This is the best opportunity to utilize for the who are going attend the exam. So notification will come soon, so that before the notification start your preparation. So this will help you boost your score in the exam. This batch the starts from the 20 of this month, and if you want to study electrical subjects, okay, please download the Spacegate, and this is the only for online, and we are going to start all online and offline batches. So be ready and before the notification. Thank you.